is June 19th and why is it a federal holiday in the US? Here's what you need to know. June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, Freedom Day, and Emancipation Day, is an annual commemoration to mark the end of slavery in the United States. President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation technically freed slaves on January 1st, 1863, but a lot of slaves weren't freed until 2.5 years later. That's because the Emancipation Proclamation couldn't be enforced everywhere until the Civil War ended. But even after the war ended, many slave owners chose not to relay that information and kept business running as usual. On June 19th, 1865, Union troops from the North physically went down to Texas and announced that they won the war, and the 250,000 enslaved African Americans there were officially free. And then slavery was permanently abolished when 3/4 of the US states ratified the 13th Amendment 6 months later. But even after that, slavery still wasn't completely over. Lots of slave owners resisted and continued to exploit African Americans. Then in the years following came so-called Jim Crow laws, which enforced racial segregation, voter suppression measures, and decades of systemic discrimination. So while June 19th marks a crucial milestone in the fight against slavery, the fight for civil rights and racial equality continued long after Juneteenth and continues today. Ever since 1865, Juneteenth has been celebrated in many different ways, like readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, family gatherings, and festivals. After the killing of George Floyd in 2020 and the anti-racism movement that it sparked, the US government decided to make June 19th a federal holiday. It's still a celebration, but it's also become an opportunity for people to reflect on the legacy of slavery and to promote racial justice and equality.